I've just thought.
What?
In a few moments, I shall be Mrs. Pamela Price.
Pamela Price? I don't like it.
Why not?
Well, it sounds like a market trader in a sheepskin coat and big earrings.
Oh, it's only a name, Jackie. I won't be changing it at all if he doesn't hurry up. That registrar's been giving us some very strange looks.
Well, we are a little short on numbers, Pam.
Well, that's Malcolm. He insisted on absolute secrecy. I couldn't tell anyone. He always said he'd never get married. He's embarrassed by the whole thing.
I can't think why. It's not as if he's the Pope. Yeah. Does his mother know you're getting married?
She doesn't know it's today. We didn't want to subject her to too much strain.
Well, she's certainly going to feel the strain when he carries you over the threshold.
Oh, we're not going back there.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Absolute secrecy.
We're going back to my place. I bought a cake.
A wedding cake? Where have you been keeping it? Under the floorboards? Oh. Honestly, Pam, I think this secrecy is obsessive. Anyone would think he was a bigamist.
Don't say that, Jackie. Not even in jest.
Excuse me, but will you be much longer? Only I have a tight schedule, and you seem to be rather on the light side.
Well, we are a small party.
Yes, so I've noticed. You'll need a groom, of course.
Of course. But this is his busy day. He won't be able to get away till the last moment.
But I appreciate the effort he's making. But may I point out it's my busy day, too. I have 10 couples waiting to take a leap into the unknown. And you're holding them up. Oh, and you'll need 2 witnesses.
I'll have 2 witnesses.
Well, I'm glad to see you're not totally friendless.
What 2 witnesses?
You and Clive?
No. Clive's minding the stall for Malcolm, he told me.
What? I didn't know that. That means we'll need another witness. Oh, why didn't someone tell me? Oh, I'm going hot all over, Jackie. Even my bouquet's wilting.
Don't worry, Pam. We'll get another witness. What about him?
I'll ask him. Excuse me. Would you mind?
No, of course not. You'd like me to sign something.
Well, yes. I hope you don't mind. You
Well, not at all. What's your name?
Pamela.
Best wishes, Pamela, on your wedding day. Dennis. Duval. There you are.
What's this?
My autograph.
No, I wanted you to be a witness.
Ah. I thought you'd recognize me. Oh, no, silly me, of course.
I'm sorry, I don't think we've met.
No, I know we haven't met. I thought you'd seen me in something.
Jackie? Have we seen him in something?
Yes, in the pizza parlour. He helps out.
Oh.
No, I do not. I was referring to the media. The television. I mean, what do you do in the evenings? Basket weaving?
Television?
Yes.
What have you been in?
Well, nothing recently. Bits and pieces. Voiceovers. But you must have watched Green Acres.
Yes.
Jake Warren.
The gamekeeper?
With the moustache and sideboards.
Sideboards, that's right.
But he shot himself in a covert.
I know.
But that was 10 years ago.
I still get letters.
What? You've been dead 10 years and you still get letters?
I was only acting.
Why did you shoot yourself?
I'd killed a poacher and it was preying on my mind.
But it was an accident.
Yes, I know it was an accident.
So there was no need to kill yourself?
Look, it wasn't my idea. It was the writers'. It was a vendetta. We had a row over dinner.
Over your part?
No, the bill. Somebody had ordered an extra sweet. They said it was me. One thing led to another. And the next thing, they were planning my suicide. I told them they'd regret it. The figures dropped by 1 million.
Oh, it's still very popular.
Yes, I like that new gamekeeper.
Yes, well, he doesn't have to wear those bloody sideboards.
That's why we didn't recognise you. The sideboards.
Well, it's all right. I am here incognito. Only my agent knows where I am. Excuse me. Hello? Look, I've told you not to call me at this number. Yes. Yes, that's right. I am getting married. And no, I'm not coming back. Look, do you think I'd bring the most beautiful girl in the world back to that hovel? Yes, I said hovel. Look, I left your house with a song in my heart and 1 step ahead of salmonella. Look, never mind about the rent. Think, you could have a blue plaque on that house one day. Dennis Duval lived here, 1990 to 91, and was thoroughly bloody miserable. Goodbye. My landlady can't bear to let me go.
Are you getting married?
Yes, but keep it to yourselves. I don't want to wring any cheap publicity out of the situation. No tawdry headlines. 4th time lucky for Dennis Duval, that sort of thing.
4th time lucky? You mean you've been married 3 times?
Yes. Well, don't look at me like that. I've been seeking the bluebird of happiness, and it isn't easy.
3 times, though?
Yes, well, theatrical life puts a terrible strain on a marriage. Always saying goodbye, never knowing who you are, living out of a suitcase, traveling to the 4 corners of the world. Wherever there's an audience, there's Dennis Duval.
But 3 times?
Yes, will you stop saying that? I'll be your witness, fine, but let's get a move on. Any moment now, the most beautiful girl in the world is going to walk through that door, and she hates crowds.
There isn't a crowd.
No, but there will be if I stick around much longer.
Look, I'm sorry, but I can't possibly... Ah. It's you, isn't it?
You recognize me?
Yes.
Yes, I thought so.
I can't recall the name.
But you've seen me somewhere.
Yes, it was here last year. And 2 years before that. And I seem to recall another occasion. It's getting a bit regular, isn't it?
Would you like me to take my custom elsewhere?
No, it just seems such a waste of time, that's all. Last time you said it was for keeps.
Well, I was wrong. Do you want something?
Yes. Would you come through and sign the forms? Again. Mr.
Duval.
Duval.
3 times?
Yes.
What makes him do it?
Must like wedding cake.
When I hear things like that, I wonder what I'm doing here. Oh. Clive? I thought you were minding the store.
There's no need. Malcolm sold it.
Sold it? He hasn't said anything to me.
It was a sudden decision.
Oh. Well, now you can be a witness, Clive. Whew. So that terrible man.
Will Malcolm be long?
I don't know.
Well, didn't he say anything?
Well, he shouted something over his shoulder.
Over his shoulder? What was it?
Well, it sounded like goodbye.
Goodbye?
And, something about Florida.
We weren't going to Florida.
I know, but he is, Pam. I'm sorry, he's done a runner.
Oh, the rat! No wonder he wanted absolute secrecy. He wanted to spare you any embarrassment when he didn't turn up.
I think he's having a nervous breakdown.
He's having a nervous breakdown. What do you think I'm having? Oh, Jackie, my legs have gone.
Breathe deeply. How are you feeling?
How do you think I'm feeling?
Oh.
This is the 2nd time I've been rejected. First Colin, and now Malcolm. I'm beginning to feel like a fate worse than death.
Well, at least you found out about him.
I didn't want to find out about him. I wanted to get married. What's wrong with me?
There's nothing wrong with you, Pam.
Then why am I sitting here like the last prize in a raffle? I love that man. I trusted him.
Oh, don't cry, Pam.
Ah, at last. Let's get a move on before the paparazzi arrive.
Wait a minute. I know you, don't I?
Well, yes, you probably do.
Dennis
Yes?
Smithers, Pond Street Secondary Modern.
What?
Don't you remember me? I'm Chunky.
Yes, I can see that. Oh, yes, Chunky. Yes. Look, I'm no longer known as Smithers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's Duval.
Oh, well, it has been a long time, Dennis.
Yes, it has.
So, what have you been doing with yourself?
Don't you know?
They said you went on the stage.
Yes, that's right.
Did you get anywhere?
Well, of course I did.
What are you doing back here, then?
Resting.
Oh. You been ill?
No, resting after a strenuous tour, South Pacific.
Ah. So you get around, then?
I was referring to the musical. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. So you're marrying old Chunky. Well, I must say I'm a bit surprised. Still, they say opposites attract.
I'm not marrying old Chunky. I'm getting out of here.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
It's the bridegroom.
What?
He's bolted.
Bolted?
I suppose you think that's funny.
Oh, no, not at all. It's very serious, very sad. It's very humiliating.
No, it isn't, because no one knows I'm getting married. We've kept it a secret, so I can walk out of here as if nothing has happened.
It hasn't.
I mean, I shan't be embarrassed. Right, Jackie?
Right, Pamela.
You can keep these. the most beautiful girl in the world. I shan't be needing them anymore. Jackie, that was Betty and all the girls from the bank. They were holding little horseshoes and bags of confetti.
Oh, I wonder if I let something slip.
What did you tell them, Jackie?
I didn't tell them anything. Well, I may have said there were going to be wedding bells for somewhere not a million miles away, but I didn't mention any names, Pam.
You blabbermouth, I can't go out there. I can't face them. I'd sooner kill myself.
Ah, no, don't do that. I can't afford the unsavoury publicity.
Unsavoury publicity? You've been married 3 times. You should be used to it by now.
He's been married 3 times?
Yes.
You've been married 3 times, Dennis?
Oh, don't you start.
Yeah, but 3 times, Dennis. I mean, what do you do about maintenance?
I never asked for a penny.
Would you come through, please? Now, if you'll just sign the relevant forms, we can proceed with the ceremony.
I'm sorry, I can't.
You mean you change your mind?
No, it's the groom. He's changed his.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. May I point out that this is not a trivial event that you can cancel at a whim? This is a solemn occasion, and we try to conduct it in a civilized manner. We may not be Caxton Hall, but we do have standards. I knew there'd be trouble as soon as you loomed into view. You just don't care, do you? I've seen some grooms in my time, but you take the biscuit.
I'm not the groom.
I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. If you're not the groom, then... But I thought you were next.
Yes, I am.
But you can't do it twice. Or are you going for the Grand Slam?
I think we've had enough of this badinage. You're losing sight of something here. The tragedy of the situation. That poor girl has been thrown aside, discarded. I mean, how do you think she feels? Look at her. She was going to be one of a pair. Now she's like a solitary earring under a cinema seat, lost without its mate. She came here to get married. She leaves alone. She can't face those people out there.
Well, she can't stay here.
Yes, she can. She can be a witness to my wedding, one of the party. And then, when the most beautiful girl in the world walks out of that door, she can slip away unobserved. All right?
Good idea, Pam.
Well, I hope the most beautiful girl in the world won't be long. You have 10 minutes. Come along, Arnold.
Well, where is she?
Who?
The most beautiful girl, etc.
Over at the Crown.
You mean she needs a drink before she can go through with it?
Certainly not. I told her to come across at the last moment. I don't want her torn apart by jealous fans. It's probably her now.
Excuse me, Hargreaves Chronicle.
Oh, God.
I understand we've got a celebrity wedding today.
How did you know?
Tip-off. Anonymous phone call. A certain Dennis Doubleday.
Duval.
Oh, well, it was one of those cellular phones. His voice was a bit muffled. You haven't seen him, have you?
No, he's not here.
Wait a minute. I know you.
Well, of course, it was silly of me to try, but...
Do you?
You used to be in a group, didn't you?
Well, yeah.
You cut a record.
Yeah, that's right.
It was terrible.
I know.
And you were involved in a messy divorce case.
I wouldn't say messy.
I played second fiddle to his guitar. Isn't that right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I won't call you a celebrity.
I'm not a celebrity. I'm not Dennis Duval.
Oh!
Yes.
Dennis Duval. Duval. Wait a minute. I never forget a headline. Dennis Duval. His night of safe sex put me in the club. Is that right?
Certainly not.
No? Oh, wait a minute. Duval. Got it. Last year. Wedding. 3rd time lucky for Dennis Duval.
Yes, that's right.
It wasn't then.
What?
Lucky.
Well, no, it wasn't.
This one's going to last, says Super Stud Dennis.
Super Stud Dennis.
I don't know where they get these stories from.
Probably an anonymous phone call.
Failed soap star speaks out. Marriage before career.
Failed? I haven't failed. Now, listen. I suggest you leave this room and take your cameras with you.
I haven't got a camera.
You haven't?
Ah. Our cameraman's at the dog show.
Dog show? And I thought pictures spoke 1,000 words. Well, if he prefers to photograph a red setter instead of the most beautiful girl in the world.
The most beautiful girl in the world? Wow. If she's the most beautiful girl in the world, I'm Robert Redford.
I'm not the most beautiful girl in the world. I'm her witness.
Oh, I see. Most beautiful girl in the world. Well, everyone to his taste, I suppose. I'd better get that cameraman.
Listen, Chunky, get over to the crowd and tell Simone to get over here as quickly as possible.
Who's Simone?
The most beautiful girl in the world.
How will I know her?
She'll probably be wearing a sash.
You can't miss her. Dark, bewitching eyes, superb figure, flawless skin, large vodka. Tell her to get over here as quickly and unobtrusively as possible.
The most beautiful girl in the world. She'll probably stop the traffic.
Wait a minute, Chunky. If she's the most beautiful girl in the world, I better come with you.
Where are you going?
I'm trying to find another way out of here.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. That reporter was suspicious. I'd bluff it out if I were you. I can just see the headlines now. Groom gives girl the go-by. Tears at registry office. Bouquet wilts as bride weeps.
I'm not weeping. You won't see any tears.
No, I noticed that. No emotion. Was that the problem?
There wasn't any problem.
Well, he's not here, is he? Something went wrong. And you're a reasonably attractive woman. Where is he?
On his way to Florida.
Why Florida?
He always wanted to see Disneyland.
Was it the sarcasm? I mean, men hate it. If you want a successful relationship, avoid sarcasm.
What do you know about relationships?
Well, I've been married 3 times.
Yeah, but they didn't last, did they?
No. But my God, we were happy.
So was I. And I was married for 20 years.
20 years? That's not a marriage, that's the mousetrap. God, I hate long runs.
Then why get married?
Well, women need the security.
May I say something? I've only known you a short time, but I think you're the most insufferable man I've ever met.
Don't you mean unforgettable?
No, I mean insufferable. And I'm glad you shot yourself in the cupboard. You couldn't have done it soon enough for me.
I can see why he's gone to Florida. You're obviously a nag.
Betty!
Pam, are you going to be long? Only we're all waiting out here, and they're getting ever so impatient.
I'm not getting married, Betty.
No, of course not. Oh, he's nice. I'm glad it wasn't the fat, ugly one.
Betty, I'm not getting married.
She's just a witness.
Oh, I know you, don't I?
Yes, you probably do.
I know. Ball Grove Youth Club. Dennis Smithers. You had to leave.
No, I did not have to leave.
What happened to you, Dennis? Did you manage to keep out of trouble?
Look, do you mind? This is a private room. Now, come on.
Oh, of course. I expect you two want to be alone together for a bit.
Excuse me, sorry. Won't be a minute.
How long are they going
Well, I don't know, Clive. What are we going to tell him?
Just tell me the truth.
What took you so long? Where is she?
Well, you said she was the most beautiful girl in the world.
Yes?
She wasn't even the most beautiful girl in the Crown.
It wasn't her fault. Her mascara had run and she did look a little blotchy.
Blotchy?
I think it was a vodka.
She said she couldn't face it.
Face it, I mean, the ceremony only takes 10 minutes.
No, it wasn't the ceremony. It was afterwards.
Afterwards?
She said she couldn't face afterwards.
Well, afterwards we were going to have a quiet meal at the Grand.
After that.
Well, after that we were going to have an early... First night nerves? Couldn't be. We opened in Brighton.
No, after that.
What comes after that?
Life.
Life?
She couldn't face life with you, Smithy, the whole thing.
She said she couldn't stand the incessant boasting.
And the sponging.
I wasn't going to mention the sponging, Clive.
Sponging? They withdrew my credit card. I mean, what a false, brittle woman. You can't quantify love. You can't put it in a ledger, debit and credit it. I'm an actor. Money means nothing to me. Where is that cow? I want to work.
Wait, you can't! The landlord put her in a cab.
She was singing.
Oh, dear. I can just see the headlines now. Bride says goodbye to grasping groom. He was a sponger, says fiancé. Dennis Duval dumped.
Dumped?
Of course, I can see the tragedy of the situation. I mean, this poor man has been thrown aside, discarded like an old sock, lost without his mate.
This isn't funny.
I think it's hilarious. I thought I'd never smile again.
You've got no reason to. They're still out there. Can you imagine what the press is going to make of this? Double dumping, spouses spurned, lightning strikes twice at registry office. I mean, this could make the National.
He's right, Pam.
But what can we do?
Well, since they're expecting a wedding, I think we should give them one.
Don't look at me. I wouldn't marry you if you were the last man on earth.
Would you mind waiting until you're asked? I was thinking of Chunky here.
Marry Chunky?
No, I didn't mean you marry Chunky. I meant his little friend here.
Little friend?
I noticed the way he's been looking at her. There's something between them, isn't there?
My goodness, you're very perceptive, aren't you?
Have you been saying something to him, Clive?
Look, we can't get married. I mean, the documents aren't in order. You've got to give notice. I mean, you can't just walk in here and get married. I mean, it's not allowed. It's against the law. You can't just get married. You know, like...
Don't worry, Clive. No one's twisting your arm.
It's only pretend.
Oh. Well, I don't mind pretending.
I do.
Look. All you've got to do is to go out there, hand in hand. We chuck some confetti over you, crowds disperse, we slip out the back way.
I can't do it.
Of course you can, Jackie.
Of course you can. Here they come.
It's exciting, isn't it? Well, you never guessed. But... Oh!
Right, nobody here. Up we go. Yes, you do have to. Come on. Yeah, swing yourself round. Both legs. You're not very agile, are you?
I can manage.
Can you? Well, I'm glad to hear it. Let's let yourself go.
Hey, you're pulling my skirt up.
Just let yourself down. I'm interested in your legs.
Dennis! Smile!
And if you enjoyed the comedy this morning, don't forget that every morning is a laugh here on Plus. After the break, though, it's soap time, starting with classic Coronation Street.